All right. So hopefully 3 times is a charm. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, YouTube is not playing today. I swear. All right. So here we go. Let's try this again. So I'm going to cast on 70 stitches. And I'm going to use this. And this is the Nora wool. So we'll see. Let's see if I scared away everybody. I don't know. Yep, we'll have to see. All right. Let's see what happens here. Turn that off. Let's try it again here. Yeah, this is tragic. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Is that still? Let's see. hmm See if this will go here. Oh man. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Hopefully this will work. And all right, we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna have to do some creative to look at the chat. Okay, I see one person. Good to see you. Welcome in. Yep. So I'm just casting on stitches here. In the yep. hmm They're good. I'm gonna have to count these, doing this kind of on the fly. Let's see. All right. Got a couple people here. Yeah, let me just move this up a little bit. There we go. Yep. All right, welcome in. And hopefully. So I'm not going to be able to chat unless I see the chat come through. Let's see. But I'm just going to keep going. And I'm just starting another hat. I'm just knitting through all of my stash. That's the plan. So let me count here. 46. Let me see if I can get enough. I think it's going to be a little short. I have to get a little bit longer. Let me see. I'll just go back a little. Got like 50. I need like 20 more stitches. So I'm going to start this again. 20 more stitches. Let me go back this way. Okay. Start again here. Let's see. I'm going to go down this way. I think about there. That should do it. Let's see here. Yep. All right. But welcome in. Sorry, I cannot see the chat, but welcome in. Yeah, YouTube has been playing. this morning. You know how it goes. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. But happy Sunday and welcome in. And I'm gonna try to cast on about 70 stitches. We'll try it again here. Yeah, this is real time, and I'm not. It's a little bit of a scientific thing. So this is a long tail cast on, and what I'm doing is got two, and I'm going from the left to the right or the right to the left, depending on your angle. And it puts a little thing on the bottom of the stitches, and it's a little bit stretchy because around the rim of the hat you want it to be a little bit stretchy. Yep. So let's see. 18. Yeah, there's 20 right there. Keep going, but I'm using this self-striping wool, and eventually all these colors come out. I don't know the exact order. I'm gonna guess probably the orange, then this yellowish, then the green, and then the purple, something like that. But this is fancy wool. It's pretty soft, and the hat comes out real nice. So we'll see how this goes. Let me just take a look at the looking at the camera while I'm doing this. Yep, it's looking okay. Okay, bring it back that way. All right now, but welcome in, and I do a little bit of knitting and crochet, and I'm trying to power through my stash like a lot of the people, and yeah, that's what I'm doing. So I was gifted some of this wool. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to power through it. I have like seven more or six more balls to go through, and it's warming up. It was 80 degrees here. I'm in Pennsylvania, and that's not normal for March. It got very, very hot, and I was dying. And so, but anyway, in the summertime, you don't want to knit or crochet with wool because it gets very hot, especially if you're making blankets and stuff. So hopefully, let me move that over a little bit. There we go. And hopefully you can see the color. All right, I'm going to count. It's 35 stitches there. I'm going to keep going. Okay, that's 40. Ooh, no, I think my tail's going to be way too long, but that's okay. It's 40. And you try not to cast them on too tightly because then you got to go back in these. Okay, that's 50. 50 stitches there. Yeah, I think I'm going to have a little extra. I'm trying to see if I can find my chat here. See what happens? I'm just stopping for a second, so let me know. Hopefully you can hear me a little bit and see what I'm doing. Mm, all right. Let's see. Try. Oh, there it is. No, it's not going. Let me see. Did this one? That one ended. Good. Okay. Yep, I cannot get into my live stream just yet. I'm gonna wait a little bit. Okay. All right now. Seven. Should be 60. Yep. Uh, Oops, missed that one. There we go. All right, let me count. I think I have about 70. Yep. Okay. I'm just gonna count them, make sure they're loose. All right. Okay. Yep. I'm gonna have a long tail, but that's okay. To make sure. I'll mark it there. So there it is. So I'm gonna do ribbing. This goes around the top of the head. And I'm gonna do knit two, purl two. Hold on. Okay. These are a little tight. Knit two. Mhm. And hopefully everything's going. Okay. Slide these up a little bit. Okay. But anyway, thank you to everyone for coming in. And let me see one more time. I cannot get to my live stream to read the chat, so I apologize. But thank you so much for coming in. And let me know how long you've been knitting or crocheting, just for anybody who's in the chat. See. Yeah. Mm-hmm. See. Boy, there's some weird stuff on YouTube this morning. I don't know if you guys have noticed. That's crazy. All right now. Let me see. I'm going to try another way here. This is not letting me get in. So I'm still moving, hopefully. But anyway, thanks everybody for coming in. And let's try it this way. I don't know. It's not letting me in. Come on. Let me in. Let me in. Let me in. Nope. It is not letting me in. Hmm. Let's see. Yeah, sure. analytics. Wow, that's crazy. All right. But anyway, well, let's see. Well, it let me. Oh, I got some views though. That's cool. All right. Well, let's just keep going. I am just like these people. You ever? I don't know. It's weird. I said sometimes I feel like there's a little bit of a block going on. And people have said that on YouTube. I don't know. It's very interesting. Random stuff blocks. And then you go, okay, all right. But anyway, I'm an artsy person. At least I think I am. And just lately I've been doing a lot of creating stuff. And I'd been on a knitting kick for a while, but I crochet and I don't sew or anything like that. I wish I did. Oops, slipped off there. I wish I could sew. That's on the list, trying all these creative things. And what else? A little bit of I used to do latch rugging, making rugs or whatever way back. Never did that. I haven't done that lately. But I bought a kit years ago and I started doing it and I said, "Oh, I don't really like this." So I ended up back knitting and crocheting. Mhm. And that's what I do. But hopefully I'll get to this first row and I'll show you the ribbing. But I'm just doing the ribbing right now. Come on. Yep. And let me know in the chat if you're into any of this stuff. Yeah. Let's see. I cannot see the chat. This is terrible. I don't know why it won't let me, but this is such as it is. But anyway, welcome in. I appreciate you coming in and hanging out for a little bit. But check out the channel if you get a chance. And this is a creative outlet for me. I just do whatever I feel like, kind of. And usually it's cooking or some kind of crafting lately. And then I do flea markets when I can. But I went to one yesterday and I don't know, it was kind of weird. Wasn't digging it. I mean, it wasn't anything exciting there, although I did get some Fiesta ware, which was exciting. And if you know what that is. And I've been sort of making a collection of it and because it's made in the United States. At least it was made in the United States. And it's handmade and people actually make it through, they put it on a potter's wheel and they throw the pieces, so it's teacups and mugs and plates and bowls, and it's really brightly colored and just for funsies I sort of do that. Let me just take a look and see what we got here. Oops, let me go back. Yep, looking. Mm-hmm. Make sure. See, looks good. Just making sure. Knit pearl, pearl, knit pearl, knit pearl, knit pearl, knit pearl, knit pearl, knit. Okay, just checking. I always like to make sure. So the first row is always the most difficult because the stitches are tight. And when I casted these on, I tried not to make them too tight. And I'm actually doing okay. And it seems like these wooden knitting needles do better with the wool. I don't know why, but I find it. And I've tried. I have plastic. I have all kinds of knitting needles, but I find that I do better with these wooden ones with the wool. It's 100% wool, and it's very soft. Yep. Okay. Got about 20 more stitches, and then the first row will be done. Hopefully. And I'm doing this kind of fast. So, and this is knit 2, purl 2 ribbing. If you don't know what that is. Okay, hang on. Purl. Stitch is a little bit weird. It's a little bit of a space. And this one's real tight. You get in there. Come on. Can't get in there. There we go. Woo, that was tight. Sometimes it happens, you know. You try not to pull it too tight. Loosen this up a little bit. Yep. Yeah, these last ones are tight. This is called stress knitting. So you know if your stitches are too tight, you're pulling them too tight. Yep. Okay. We're doing it. Yes, we got 18 people. Welcome in. Sorry about the chat, but I cannot see it, which is annoying. But thanks for coming in. All right, now let me just keep going. Finish these last couple stitches here for this row, and hopefully you can see everything. Yep. But I'm doing my thing, and it's early Sunday morning, so I figure I'm not clashing with too many people. But there's a few people on, I saw. But I know later today is a lot of fiber people are on. So I'm just trying to get a little bit of time and, and like I said, I just like to show people the process of creating. And it is a little tedious, but, the net effect of it is really good. But anyway, all the hats that I made with this wool, I gave away. So I don't even have a good one to show you, which I'm very sad. But I gave away, yeah, the hats that I made out of this. Yes, I did. So I'm gonna make one, I guess, for myself. There we go. Okay. All right, last two there. All right, so this is what it looks like. Got to turn this around so it's not twisted. This is the whole thing that happens here. You don't want it to be twisted, so I'm going to just fix this real quick. But here's the tail. Yeah, I have a really ridiculously long tail, but you see how it gets very, hold on, let me turn this around. There we go. Yeah, so it's a little bit stretchy. You see that? And when I first casted the stitches on, they weren't this stretchy. So it's pretty cool. You see that? And when it goes around your head, it'll allow a little bit of stretch. Yeah. So there's that. Let me see. I'm going to try one more time. But I'm using these really long knitting needles. These are probably, I think, 16 inches long or something. They're pretty long. And but they're kind of cool because they have this carved thing on the end, which is nice. Very fancy. I didn't know, I never heard of these before. But they're called Brittany, Brittany. Yeah, and these are a size 10. And this is what they recommend for this yarn. So every yarn that you buy will recommend what size needle. And each of the knitting needles are different sizes because you got skinny ones, you got thicker ones. And this yarn is kind of in the middle. And what it is um it's sort of like the most it's called worsted weight or mini weight. And let me see if I can find this other thing. Yeah, worsted weight is pretty medium size, you know. It's not thick, it's not thin, it's just kind of in the middle. Yeah. And then, like, for example, let me just pull this open. Like, here's a finer weight yarn. I'll show you this one, just in comparison for people that don't know. So this one here is a thinner weight yarn compared to this one. So if you put these together, you see the difference. This is just a little bit thicker than this guy. This guy's really thin. Yeah. So this one requires a thinner needle than this one. Yeah. And that works that same way with crochet. There's a different needle. And then also there's these guys. Like this is some thread. This is crochet thread. And you see how thin this is? You can barely see it. It's really hard to see. But this will require an even smaller hook or a needle to use. Yeah. So that's how the yarn works. But this is a hat that I made last week. And this was a thicker yarn. But it was still kind of a medium weight. But so right now I'm making the knit two, purl two ribbing, which goes around your head. And they use this in socks around the calf and then around the top of a sweater. And see what it does is it gives you this little bit of a stretch. Oh, so, but anyway, but this is a little beanie that I made last week. But I'm going to keep going. All right now. I had to take a little break. I'm going to take a little sip. Mm-hmm. All right now. Okay, let me see how we're doing here. Okay. Yep. So now I'm going to continue the ribbing. So let's see. So now I'm just going to continue. And you're just going to, you knit two stitches, you purl two stitches. Just continue down the row. And then what this will do is it just continues the pattern. And I'm going to do that pattern for a couple of inches, maybe an inch and a half. Sometimes you can make it bigger. It just depends on how big you want your rim on your uh, hat. Let me go back a little bit. There we go. It's better. But yeah. So I don't know if you can see that, but see the stitches are lining up. So it's going to stretch a little bit. But anyway, you'll see it better. But it looks more. It'll look more like this when it's done. It's going to look like that. But we'll see how far I get. And I don't know. See if people hang out. But I like to knit a little bit. It's kind of relaxing. And yeah. Yep, yep, yep. Let's see. This is what I'm doing. But anyway, I appreciate people coming in. And hello. And sorry I cannot see the chat, which is very sad. I like to chat, but yes. I'm just gonna keep going. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. Pull some more out the ball. Now, normally you should roll your ball, the yarn or hank or skein. You'll hear different terms like that. People say skein, but it's really skein. Yes. And pull some more out of this guy. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, this is what I'm working with. Just show you again. Yeah. But I'm just pulling out. Now you should probably roll this in a ball, but I'm not. I don't do it. I do it when I have to, but I just don't feel like doing it today. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Go back here a little bit. See, hang on, let me just check one thing here. Should be knit. Yeah, the stitch looks a little bit wacky. It happens. Pull some more out there. But this is what I do. Yep. I don't know. I lost my chat, but it happens. Pearl. All right. And I'm just going to keep going. But, if you don't knit or, if you knit, give it a try. It's a little bit, I won't say it's fiddly, but usually I sort of, I'm resting the needles on my, usually I rest them on my stomach or on my leg or whatever, and that helps you sort of maneuver them. Like knitting on a table is not the best, but I can do it because I've done this forever. Been doing this for at least, oh, I don't even know how many years, decades now, a couple decades. So, you know, and I taught myself how to do it, yeah, through a book, and that was before, YouTube was around. Yeah. And but I think I learned. I think I'm okay. Well, doing all right for no formal, education. Yep. And this is English style knitting, they call it. And yep, 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 yep. There we go. But I've made sweaters, couple socks, nothing. They call it the one sock syndrome. I have that, where you make one sock and you don't feel like making the other one. That's a joke and it's hilarious. And I fit that. But let's see. But I've made some shawls, although I don't know. I feel like if you're 90 years old, you wear a shawl. Sorry. A lot of the crocheters make them because they're fast. And I understand that. But I don't know, like practical wear, stuff to wear. I think hats and scarves are more practical. Or a cowl, which is a scarf that's connected at both ends. But that's what I do. Yeah. I don't do much more than that. But sweaters and stuff take a while to do. Yep. Yep. All right now. Almost at the end of round two. I feel a sneeze coming on. Oh boy. Hopefully not. Hang on just a second. Let me make sure this doesn't. Okay. Good. Good, good. False alarm. Okay, good. All right. Feel the sneeze. Yeah, I've been doing yeah, I think now that all the plants are blooming, so I'm starting to feel a little getting allergy stuff now, which is lovely. Yes. But spring is awesome because everything's starting to grow. But like I said, we had 80-degree weather yesterday, which that's not normal for Pennsylvania. We're in 6B or 6C. I can't remember which one, but we're supposed to normally get frost until May. Like, yeah, basically May is when we get frost. We can get frost. So it's cold. So the fact that, we had an 80-degree day was pretty shocking because my husband and I were out yesterday and we went inside of a building. And then when we came out, it must have gone up 10 degrees. And we were like both had on heavy, not heavy jackets, but we had on a jacket. And so we're like, oh, okay. But anyway, let me show you. So I got this long tail. See, this is kind of a waist, but I can use that to sew up the hat later. But here we go. But when you do that long tail cast on, sometimes it gets a little messy. But anyway, so there's the basis of the hat. Let me see if I can show you that real quick. But this is the brim, and see it's getting pretty stretchy. But I'm gonna keep going. Right now, it's probably like a quarter of an inch, and I'm gonna keep going until it's about maybe 2 inches, inch and a half to 2 inches. It just depends. And I just sort of look at the hat and go, what do I want it to be? You know what I mean? And then I just go from there. I'm just going to keep going. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. But it's getting bigger. But welcome in. Welcome in. Yeah. Fortunately, I cannot see the chat. But please join the channel, subscribe, and if you leave me a comment, I'll come back and check out your channel. Yep. And then I have Nightbot dropping, I think. Although I can't tell, but let's see. And if you type KELLI, it will drop your link to your channel if you want to meet up with some people you don't know. And I always forget to mention that, but yep, it's in there. Usually it runs, but we'll see. Don't know. Cannot see it. Mm-hmm. Yep. So I don't know. I don't have any plans for today, but there are a couple of since I've been semi-retired, I've been sort of checking out. Usually on the weekends, there's a lot of yard sales and antique shows, so I've been checking those out. A couple of them haven't started yet. We're waiting till I think after April 5th, those start to come on. So I got to make sure I get my chores done so we can go and check them out. And that's usually where I get my walking in. And I'll do that. Yep. So I got another week before. But there's a couple indoor places that are open today. I'm not sure if we're going to go. I don't think so. They have good veggies. So I've been getting good vegetables. It's worth the drive. Uh, because they have a farmer's market slash flea market. So some of I call them like the food wholesalers come there. So a lot of times you can get a lot of good strawberries, blueberries, that kind of stuff, even out of season. So that's the plan. And then I don't know. So I'm not sure if we're going to go or not today. Although I really could go for a couple of, could go for some blueberries or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I'll just show you there. But that's what it's looking like. The brim, that's the rim around the hat. And keep going. hmm But they have people that are speed knitters. I have never tried that. I would love to learn how to do that. hmm But usually, when you go to these fiber shows, they have some of those things like that. But there's also loom knitting. You can do that, and there's machine knitting you can do if you can't figure out the two needles. But it's really not too hard. I don't think for most people. It's usually pretty quick. Yeah, the hardest part is like fixing a bad stitch. But that comes with, time and practice. Okay. All right. Let's see. Sure. Yes. Oh, yeah, this should be. There we go. Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna keep going. Okay. Mhm. Yep. Mhm. But I hope everybody has a good week and try to make some good plans for the week because tomorrow is Monday. But enjoy your day of rest. You know what I mean? Hmm. It's a beautiful thing. So that's 2 rows. All right. Just want to pull this out so you can see. Then you always turn your work. So I'm going to turn it. Yep. There it is. And then it's starting to get that nice design. I don't know. It's a little hard to see. It's still kind of small. I'm going to see if I can pull up my chat on this other page. Will it let me now? I don't know. We'll see what happens here. Let's see what happens. Hmm. All right. Might let me in there now. Nope. I'm telling you. Cannot get in this live. Let's see. Try one more thing here. See if this will let me in. I can see what people are saying. Nope, it's not letting me in. Lovely. All right, we're gonna keep going. Let me see what we got here. All right, now got 15 people. Thanks for coming in. All right, now appreciate you coming in. All right, okay, let's keep going. Yeah, sometimes YouTube does not let you go in your own live. That's weird. I just wanted to see what people are saying, but it's like, nope, not today. Okay, let's keep going. Yeah. All right, let's keep going. Yeah, it's a shame I don't have any music. But that's always a thing on YouTube. It's such a pain. I almost don't want to have the music, but it'd be nice to have some music. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Yeah, it's kind of tragic. Could use some music. Okay. Pull some more off the ball here. See, I'm just sort of pulling it off as I go. Yeah. Anyway, but that's what it looks like. Pulling it off. Mm-hmm. Okay, here we go. Let's keep going. Mm. I've got crazy music in my head. That's why I'm laughing. I'm laughing at myself. All right now. But I'm thinking of that song Anxiety, just so you know. Somebody's watching me. It's my anxiety. All right now. But I think that song's kind of funny. It's not funny, but maybe she didn't mean it to be funny, but it actually sounds kind of funny. It's one of those. I go, what was she thinking when she wrote that? All right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you're on social media, hopefully someone's watching you. I don't know. But then again, thinking out loud here. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Let me just see something. I want to check the stream. Oh, yeah, we're still going. 45 minutes. Thanks for hanging in. All right now. All right. Yes. So this is what I do usually on a weekend morning. I'll just do some knitting or crocheting and I'll just chill. And I'll usually listen to music, but I don't think I should. I don't want us to get in trouble. Said YouTube is kind of a mess with the music. It's kind of tragic, but you know, that music industry is a mess. They don't play. Yeah, they do not play. And I don't want to mess with them because they're way too strong with their stuff. No, thank you. I'm just gonna enjoy the peace and quiet. Yes. Mhm. All right. Yeah. And I wouldn't recommend knitting on a table. It's not the best. Really should be in your lap almost, but it's just easier to see for the camera if I do it this way. Hmm. It's fine. Yes. Hmm. All right. Almost at the end of the row here. Down. All right. Pull this down. Show you what I got. Pull out some yarn. Okay, it's getting there. So you see it's getting close to this now. You can almost see the stitch. Just starting to come out, the ribbing. So looks a little better. But we'll keep going. See. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. All right. Just like to take a look and see who's here. Yep. So, but sorry I can't chat. But my chat is like not running, and I'm not on my computer, so it's one of those things. That's okay. But this is the process of knitting a hat by hand, and yeah. Okay. I'm just trying to power through my stash. Hmm. Yeah. And you see, I don't know if you can see, but it's changing color. So it's sort of the orange. Now it's going into the yellow. Just keep going. So fingers crossed that everything looks okay. I always go back. After I finish a row, I always go back and make sure my stitches are good. And that's a good practice if you ever do any kind of knitting or crochet. You check them as you go along, but definitely at the end of the row, it's a good time to check them, make sure everything looks okay, make sure everything's connected, that you didn't drop a stitch or anything, because that happens. And then you can fix it before you get too far in. And this is like 72 stitches I put on here. And it's going to be pretty good sized hat. And yeah. Mhm. Pull that back a little bit there. Hopefully my hands aren't blocking too much. Mm, come on. Yeah, I can tell I've got a little bit of something is sticky on this knitting needle. Or it's my nail. I don't know. I feel like it's something's pulling on this a little bit. Sometimes you have to sand these knitting needles if they're wooden. Sometimes something can get on there. I don't know. Or maybe not. Yeah, it's okay. All right. Sometimes you feel like something's on there. See, it could be my nail. I may have to use a nail file. Probably got a little splintered. We were lifting stuff yesterday, so happens. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There we go. About halfway through there. Go ahead. More than halfway. I have to see how big this how big this ribbing is. It's looking pretty good. I mean, I think I could probably see. I could almost stop the ribbing there and just continue with the rest of the hat. That's a pretty good size. It's just enough to get around. See, the whole thing is you want your head. You want it to fit the head of whoever you give this to, and you don't want it too big, but you don't want it too small. And then the ribbing just helps it be a little stretchy. So it definitely gives you a little space for the size of people's heads. You know what I mean? Because everybody's head's a little bit different. Yeah, but and in crochet they do it too. It's kind of a ribbing. Yep. It makes the hat fit nice. Yeah, there's something on this needle. I don't know what this is. Something fuzzy. See, a lot of times, whenever you buy these needles, they put tape around them. And I think that's what that is. That might be tape. A little bit of tape. Okay, I think I got it. Because I got these from a thrift store. And, a lot of people, they buy all these crafts. So I recommend if you want to start a new craft, buy it from a thrift store because it's usually cheaper. Not always, but usually. And then if you don't like it, then you don't feel like you've spent a ton of money, at least initially. And then you can go off later if you decide you like it. And but these needles, I looked these up. These were like $15 or $20 a piece. For a set. Or no, maybe they were $30 a piece. They were a lot. And I was shocked. But I just thought they were pretty. That was really I said, "Oh, those are pretty." Yeah. But I didn't really think about like, are they fancy? Are they not fancy? I don't know. But I just kind of just bought them randomly. And I'll show you once again once I get to the end of this row so I don't drop a stitch. I'll show you the name. But yeah, look them up. They're expensive. I was shocked. Usually like you never know. Okay, so there's the color. So you see the orange? Yeah. Went through the I didn't realize that was orange, but it is orange. Okay, so let me show you. Let me see if I'll have to put them this way. This is the name. See if you can see that. It's Brittany, Brittany, size 10. Then they have these really pretty carving on the end there. Yeah, which I thought was pretty amazing. Yeah. And they're long. I think they're 16 or 18 inches long. They're pretty long. But this is good because you can put a hat on here. Now, you wouldn't be able to do a sweater unless you, yeah, I don't know. You could put sleeves on here. You know, you could do probably one panel of like a lady size sweater. But I think a man's sweater would be too big to fit on these. But these are pretty long. Yeah, pretty good. All right. I'm going to keep going. We've got about 5 minutes. Yeah, keep going. And then I'll just see. We'll see how the yellow matches up. It's coming in there. Then after the yellow is sort of a dark green. And I think we'll see a little bit of the dark green. So here goes. All right. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm. Dark green. Yep. Ooh, my coffee just shut off. I only had like a swallow left in there. But it's been an hour since I made it. Wow, it's amazing. Yep. All right now. Yeah, I had 2 cups already. I'm like, think if I have another one, that might push me over the edge of crazy. Don't want to do that. Hmm. All right. Let's see. But I'm gonna do. Let's see. Maybe one more row. Oh, I'll finish this row and see what it looks like. I think for the ribbing, I think it might be good. And like I said, I don't really measure. I'm kind of modifying a couple of patterns that I have in my brain. It's what I'm basically doing. And yeah, that's what I do. When you've done this a while, you sort of have the hats in your head. And up there. But I'm going to try to get outside today and get some air. As long as, my allergies are killing me. See, I don't know what it's trying to do. It's getting dark, and then it's getting light, then it's dark, then it's light. So I don't know what's happening weather-wise. Let's see. It's crazy. Mhm. There you go. It's looking good. Yeah, I would say I could do one more row or not, or just keep going. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. So I'm liking this. Yeah, and I sort of just go by feel. What am I feeling? Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's keep going. But anyway, thanks everyone for coming in and hanging out. And sorry I can't see you, but this is what happens sometimes. Yeah. And yep, but we're good. Doing well. Hope everyone's doing well. Figure I'll get a few minutes in this morning while it's quiet. And peace and blessings to everybody. Try to stay positive on this channel. And I hope people like that. It's my wish that people would like it. I don't know. All right. So let's see. It's nice. Okay. Mhm. Pull that back. I started doing this knitting in December. Was it December or November? It's been a while now. I don't remember. I don't do it all the time, but I do it from time to time. Just random knitting. And I don't feel like showing my face today. Some days I don't mind, but I'm like, "Ah, not today. I'm good." Yeah, I'm gonna do one more row and then I'm just gonna start the straight knitting. So I'll show you what it should look like once I finish this row. So I'm just gonna continue like this, and I'm gonna continue for a certain height, probably 6 to 7 inches high, depending. And then I'll just seal it off that way. Yeah. Let me see how we doing here. Oh, he's got 16. Welcome in. Welcome in. Yes, yes, yes. Thanks for hanging in there. Appreciate you. And looks like the stream is still going, so that's good. All right, now I'm gonna do another row of the ribbing, and I think I'm gonna just start with the rest of the hat after this. And if you guys want to hang out, all right, let me know. All right. Yeah. Gonna keep going. Mm-hmm. And then that this is the hardest part, not the hardest part, but this is the pain in the neck part of the hat, because you gotta change stitches every 2 stitches. But when you've done this a while, just a it's like muscle memory now. Hmm. Yep. Hmm. See? All right. Keep going. So I'm working on a wooden table, so you're hearing the stitches hit the table. I mean, the needles hit the table, which is annoying. It's driving me crazy a little bit. So I'm gonna try to see if I can tone that down. And yeah. Yep, yep, yep. Hmm. But if you want to put, I'm just curious where everybody's from in the chat. If we got any people from overseas, I'm always curious. We got a lot of people from the States. I think that's where most of my people come from. Got a few from overseas, but if you want to put where you're from, generically, yep, that'd be cool. And if you enjoyed it, or let me know. Let me know. I like to do this. I think people need to see the process. And then, later on you can, like I said, it's not hard. It just takes a little practice, and that's with anything in life. A little bit of practice. All right. Let's see. So these are, for people who don't know, these are straight needles. And then they have circular needles that are for rounder, if you're knitting in the round. And you can knit in the round. You can knit straight on circular needles, but usually they're for if you have lots and lots of stitches, like hundreds of stitches. And I go to this knitting group, and I forget the lady had to cast on 260 stitches for this shawl or blanket she was making. Oh my gosh, it was huge. I can't remember if it's a shawl or a blanket. It was a shawl, I think. And she goes, "Wait, I have to count." And I'm like, "Oh my God, 260 stitches. That's a lot to try to keep track of." Especially like it's always that first row that you always have to really make sure that if you're following a pattern, you want to make sure that you have the right number of stitches. You could always add a stitch at the end, but if you're short, but 260 doesn't give you much room for error at all. Whereas mine, I can always add a little bit more. But that's the ribbing. So I think I'm going to stop the ribbing right there. Let me see. Do I want to do one more row? Uh, hmm. Maybe one more. Let me see. Yeah, this is pretty close. I'm sort of measuring on this one. Yeah, it's pretty close. Okay. We're doing here. Okay. So we got 12 people. Thanks for hanging. But anyway, this is what it looks like. And that's going to be the ribbing of the hat there. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. All right, now. And I'll show you the circular needles. They're hard to see because I've got to, I've got to transfer this off of here, but this is a circular needle here. And see how it's in the round in comparison. Yep. So this is where you can, do a hat in the round. And it's basically you do the same thing, but the only thing I don't like about it is it gets to a certain size and then you have to put it on smaller needles. So with the straight needle, all I have to do is just sew the two sides together, and then you got a hat. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. All right. So anyway, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to knit straight across, and it's going to be hard to see for the first row, but I'm just going to knit this. Hold on a second. Pull that tight. Just going to knit. There we go. Knitting straight across. And I'm going to do this for about 5 inches, 6 inches, depending on how big. Like you can make a slouchy hat. If you make it longer, it'll be like Dr. Seuss, like that slouchy hat. But I'm just gonna knit straight across because this is the front of the hat. I'm just gonna pick this as the front. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Oops. Get in there. Yep. 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 Yeah, it's hard to see. Let me pull out some more. I'm gonna pull this, leave this up here. But anyway, I gotta take some of this off. But normally, if you roll it into a ball, you don't have to do what I'm doing. Sort of just taking some off. All right, let's keep going. But this is the process of making a hat on straight needles. And a lot of people like the circular better. They're better for traveling for sure. These straight needles, you can drop stitches off the end, but they have they call it stitch stoppers you can put on the edge if you carry this with you somewhere. Uh, but I don't really use them. I should. It's the whole thing. It's one of those situations I should really do. But I'll finish this row and then I'll show you. It'll be a little hard to. I don't know if you'll be able to see the difference between the ribbing, because the first row is always the little. It's hard to see on camera, but I'll show you what it looks like. And thanks for hanging in there, the 12 people. You're awesome. Yep, just trying to get some hours on the I Bring It Everyday channel. We appreciate everybody who supports and in any way that you can, because your time is really valuable. So the fact that you're hanging in there with me is awesome. And it is not unnoticed, believe me. Yeah. Oh, wow. I didn't realize it was this late. See, my husband's not moving too fast today. So I don't know if you can see in there, but this is the knit row here. It's easy to see right there, but it's hard to see, but it's in between the ribbing. But I'll do one more row maybe, and then we'll zip it. We'll end it. But I think, yeah, keep going. I'm gonna try. But once I get my rhythm going, I'm going. This is the easy part of the hat, thank goodness. You saw me lumbering through the other part if you were here earlier. But let's see. I'm gonna see if we get to a color change. Oh yeah, we're gonna get to a color change. All right now. This is nice. Then you'll see it might be a little easier to see with the color change. It's gonna change in a few little bit. But there's videos on knitting. I would recommend, you can look at videos. But if you look at the book is nice because it's paused, and they have actual stitches in a lot of these knitting books where you can sort of see how to make the stitches. And let me see. I have a little magazine here that might help. Also, and if you go in the thrift stores, they have a lot of these used magazines. And our library has them too. And those are good, like some of the knitting books, because they usually have basic knitting instructions in usually a lot of the patterns and or the books that you see in the library or in the bookstore. You know what I mean? And now that they have thrift books and some of those other discount book sites, knitting and crochet books are really cheap right now, which I enjoy. But I need to probably not buy any. All right, so I finished a row. So this is what it looks like so far. And you see the color change. That's really gorgeous. And this is the ribbing. Knit two, purl two, knit two, purl two, knit two, purl two, knit two, purl two, etc. And that's one of the ribbing that you can do. I'm going to turn this around. I'm going to purl a row back. And then I think you should be able to see a nice color change. So I've got a ridiculously long tail. Should not have done that, but it is what it is. I'll just use it to sew the ends later when I cut it. But this is really pretty yarn and it's gorgeous. All right, let's keep going. I'm going to take this end out of here. Get. All right, there we go. Okay, there we go. Let's get back in here. Now I'm going to have to. So now I have to purl this back. And then I'm going to knit the next row and then purl it back. And that's stockinette stitch. So, yep. Okay. Purling back. And in stockinette stitch is what a sock would look like. So the soft part of the sock is on the outside. And hopefully I'll have, yep, it's looking good. I always like to check. It's always good to check your work as you go. Make sure you're knitting when you're supposed to knit and purling when you're supposed to purl. And I'll show you this when I get to this end here. And this will give you a good, this is kind of a, not a knitting tutorial, but it could be. Just kind of filling people in some of the terms. And, but like I said, I'm using straight needles here. And, we did the ribbing. And then we did the knit stitch. And then I'm doing the purl stitch back. And then I'll show you what it looks like. And then we should be able to continue. But the funny thing is, I'm a little faster on the straight needles. I don't know why. I learned on both. I mean, that's not true. I was going to say I learned on straight, but that's not true. Because my first project, I made a sweater, and it was huge. I forget how many stitches. Might have had 300 stitches, so I had to use circular needles to keep it all on one needle, and that's the positive part of having circular needles. See, right now I have 70 stitches on here, 70, 72, I think. Um, I think I had to do 300 and something, or maybe it was 500. It was a lot of stitches. And so these straight needles cannot hold that many stitches. Maybe at most 80 to 100. And 80 is even a lot, depending on the size of the yarn. But I find that these wooden needles work great with the wool. And this is 100% wool. And it just flies through here. But they have plastic needles, and what else do they have? Plastic? I said plastic. Yeah, I don't know. But usually it's wood or plastic, or they have like aluminum, that's right, with the metal on the ends, which I think that's what I have on this other little hat. I have to decrease this other hat and take it off and put it on double point needles. And I'm not going to do that live because that's going to be hard and a pain. I don't want to have a boo boo since I worked so hard on it so far. I've got like, I think I need like 1 more inch. I got to knit on this one, but I'll show you. Actually, no, I think I still need to do about 2 rows on the other one before I can decrease, but I'm really close to the decrease on my other hat. But I decided to do these straight needles because I feel like I'm faster. And I'm just trying to power through, my stash. And that's the plan. But there it is. That's the ribbing. And see, this is the purl side where these little bumps are in the back there. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, there it is. That's better. Yep, purl side. And then this is the knit side on the front. So it's real soft right there at the edge of where the needle is. So that's the stockinette stitch. So you get a nice soft on the front and then bumpy on the back. Party in the front, back. I forget that song. But it's gotta like what's happening there. Yes. So I'm just gonna purl this back, and I think I should show you. Got about 10 more stitches. And but one day I'll have to come on here and show you some of the knitting needles. So I have a lot of vintage needles because they're so cheap right now. Nobody wants them. And if you want some straight vintage needles, they're so easy to get in the thrift stores. They're basically throwing them away. They're trying not to throw them away, is what I think is happening. So they'll sell you like piles of them. And it used to be that you had to pay, couple dollars a piece, for each set. And now, boy, they're trying not to throw them away, is what I think they're doing. The other day I went in and my husband goes, "Do you want these?" And I was like, "No." Because I have so many, of the whoops. I have so many vintage needles at this point that I'm kind of like need to start purging. But I'll show you real quick. So this is it. All right, so this is that. Let me hold this up to the camera a little closer. So let me put this down. All right, so here we go. So this is the stockinette. So here's the knit two purl two ribbing at the bottom, and then I'm starting stockinette stitch, and it's gonna be I think that's where the green is where my thumb is. That's a good you can sort of see. And then on in the back side, you sort of see the purl stitches on the back, knit stitches in the front. But that's and then I'm just gonna continue the hat, but I'll show you this other one just for giggles here. So this is so I'm doing this on the circular needles here. We put this inside out. Here we go. Yeah, I still need probably another couple inches to go on here. But this is another color of that Noro. And see, these are aluminum. And aluminum's okay. Like a lot of the needles are aluminum, I guess. And let's see. Yeah, let's keep going here. But yeah, so this is it in the circular. So I'm just knitting all the way around. And I think I need to make this just a little bit higher. But these balls, like I said, these are 50-gram balls of yarn. They're real small. So for crocheting, I think it would be a waste because you would have to use so much of this, and it's a little bit pricey. But you see the colors; it's really pretty. And yeah, okay. Oh, 120. All right. So I'm a little over. That's good. Then I can do my little time. So anyway, so check me out tomorrow morning. I'll be doing some motivation around 8 o'clock Eastern. And I just like to start the week off on a positive note. If you find yourself awake, and I always just like to look at quotes from people who are successful, more or less, in life. That not that they're the answer to everything, but I think people who are driven and I don't know how to explain it. People who are driven and who have accomplished a lot in their lives definitely have a different mindset from I call them regular people, and I include myself in that. In fact, like I think that trying to think what's a good quote that I liked that I heard recently. I'm trying to think of any. My brain's not working today. Uh but somebody said, if you don't try, you're gonna miss 100% of the time, or something like that. So yeah, so if you want to have 100% average, just don't do anything. But if you're willing to try something new or different, you have a 50-50 chance of being successful at it. So if you want 100% uh, lack of success, don't do anything. And I thought that was a very interesting. Now that's not the exact quote, but that's kind of what the person was saying. Yep. Yeah, you miss. I forget how he said it. He said something like, "You miss 100% of the chances that you never take." That's it. And you have to look that up. But I, I cannot remember who said that. But I thought that was very interesting. You know. Yep. You miss 100% of the chances that you never take. Yeah. So, and that's what I challenge people on YouTube to try something that you've never done before. And because you might find that you'll like it. And, I'm at that certain point in my life where I really have to keep myself motivated. And I noticed that a lot of people are talking about motivation now, which I think is good. Uh, but it's just interesting that you never saw so much motivation. Now everybody's motivating, which I guess is good. Yeah. But I always say if you have something to say, then you should say it. And that's kind of where my motivation came from. Just, I'm finding that a lot of people that I know, have been sort of passing away. And, you really just have to remember that you have to, take every day that you have and really make the most of it. And I try not to take other people's words. Like everything I'm saying is coming from my heart. I'm not copying and pasting and stuff like that. And and I always sort of try to put it in terms that I call it regular people. Like even though I look at successful people, I try to look at what successful people say and try to put it in terms of what regular people like I call myself regular. I include myself in that. Where it can fit into your life and change your life. Because a lot of life changes come through attitude, but also, when it comes from the heart it shows. When you're faking it, it shows. And I see all the fakery, that sometimes you see on YouTube. And it's kind of tragic. I don't know. Said it's nice to be yourself instead of try to be somebody else. And those are all the things that I totally, you know, I've been feeling that way for a long time. Because everybody has something to offer. And instead of copy pasting, do your own stuff, you know what I mean? Because I think everybody has something to offer. Yeah. So there it is. So like I said, I enjoy knitting, and I hope that I can inspire, other people to try. And if you do, just let me know. Send me a message on Instagram, Facebook. I bring it every day. Or you can reach out. I have an email address somewhere on there in my about page, I believe. And yeah, let me know, if I've inspired anything in you. And that's always cool to know, because you never know. Yeah. All right. So I got three. I guess I'll hang out for 3 more minutes. And this is looking pretty good. And look at the colors on this one. This is nice. So you see, it's kind of this tan. It's like chartreuse, a little bit of, well, olive, and then chartreuse, and then purple. And I don't know what color that is. That red. And then it's turning pink at the top there. But and let me know, in the comments, if you come back and leave a comment, let me know if this was useful or not. And I'm a big girl, I can take it. But constructive criticism is helpful. Yeah. And there we go. I'm at the end of the row here. Let's see. Oh no, I got about 20 more stitches here. Well, I was closer. I am not. But you can use stitch markers to sort of help you. I have the beginning of this row is so obvious, it's not even funny. I'll show you in a minute. And that's how I sort of know where I'm at. But after a while, you can eyeball a lot of this stuff. But if you're a beginner, use a marker and it will help you. So I don't know if you can see this right here, but this is where my row starts. So I got a couple more to go before that row. Got about 8 more stitches. But that's how I know where I'm at. Yep. That's my tail when I started, when I cast it on. And I can see my tail. But I really enjoy this yarn. I really enjoy doing this because for me this is very meditative. And then you end up with something that you can actually use. And that's the whole thing that I enjoy. You can actually use this. And yep. So anyway, so let's see. Oh, 1 minute. Okay. I want to end this. So anyway, so thank you all so much for coming in to the I Bring It Every Day channel. Yeah, come back, subscribe and join if you like. I mean, I don't push the memberships, although I appreciate people who do join. And I usually support people regardless if they're a member or not. But if they're a member on the channel, I always come back and try to, support your channel the best that I can. And I always shout people out and things like that. And that's what I try to do. But, that's the plan of the channel. I'm always trying to stay positive. And this is what you do if you travel. You just push them back on these circular needles. So you see they have this plastic here. and that sort of keeps everything together. So in this way, you don't drop stitches, but you can put stitch blockers on the end there, and they're usually pieces of plastic. I don't think I have any nearby, but this way keeps everything together. So if you travel, you can always use a. Yep. So anyway, so this is the other one, but show you that. But this is the one that we did today. I'll just lay that here so you can see. And then I'm going to keep going, and I'll probably be knitting and crocheting somewhere else, today. And I always like to invite people to come up when I do a live stream on the panel. If you want to knit and crochet together, I'm always open for that. And just email me or hit me with a DM and all that stuff. Yeah. So, but anyway, I'd like to say thank you so much for coming in. Please give a thumbs up and share and let me know if I've inspired anything for you. All right, now. So, thank you so much. We'll see you soon on the YouTube streets and come on back and say hey. Take care. Bye bye. Uh-oh. Let me see if I can do this. Oh boy. Uh-oh. Okay. And we're ending. I'm going to try to end. Got to move my phone here. I think I did it. All right. I think we did it. There we go. Okay. I did it. Come on, fingers. Uh-oh. This does not want to end. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay.